Hello everyone, my name is Alyssa and today I will be talking to you about Lawrence Hill, who is a famous contemporary Canadian author. First off, we will be touching on his personal life. He was born in 1958 in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada. His mother and father were American immigrants. His father was of African American descent and his mother was from English descent. His grandfathers were prominent figures in the African Methodist Episcopal Church. His mother became a civil rights activist, so essentially he was surrounded by human rights his entire childhood. Watching his parents as he grew up had influenced his writing, which touches on the subjects of race, belonging, and identity with strong historical significance. When he was younger, he had a passion for running and he dreamed of participating in the Olympics. Although he never made it, he consoled himself by writing instead. He started to write many short stories on his mother's typewriter and eventually turned it into a career. After that, for a long while, he wrote for the Globe and Mail after attending Johns Hopkins University for a master's in writing. He was also a parliamentary correspondent for the Winnipeg Free Press. This eventually led to writing and publishing more famous novels, such as The Book of Negroes and The Illegal, which we will talk about later, but however now he resides in Hamilton, Ontario with his wife. Lawrence Hill has published many different novels, but also many types, as you can see. His early works more surround around the idea of the issues of race and identity in modern-day society, but overall do have some reflection of the hardships that the African American community have faced over the years. He has also published an essay called Dear Sir, I Intend to Burn Your Book. This was created because of an email from a man in the Netherlands who claimed he was going to burn his copy of the Book of Negroes. This is essentially a response to him and connects the sensitivity of topics such as slavery and racism that many people had to endure in the time era of the 18th century. He has also written a memoir titled Blood, which is a truly accomplished work in the eyes of the educational system. He has given many lectures to university students using this book because it connects the idea on historical and contemporary identity, belonging, race, gender, class, citizenship, and nationhood. It was so popular it actually had gotten broadcasted as a lecture on CBC Radio in 2013. Moving on to his more famous novels, the first being The Book of Negroes, which is popular worldwide. It is sold all around the world and also goes by the title of Someone Knows My Name. This novel is about a young girl who is kidnapped and has to endure living in a world of slavery for endless years to come. This work has essentially captured what it was like to be a slave at the time. It has won many awards, including the Commonwealth Writers' Prize, where he met with the Queen, who applauded his outstanding and captivating work. This book also contains a TV series now. Adding on to that, he also has many other fictional novels, but the second best popular is The Illegal. This novel essentially captures the historical significance of being a refugee on the run from the government in fear of being deported because of race. Lawrence Hill has also written non-fiction novels. This one in particular, Blackberry Sweet Juice, talks about being of mixed race in Canada and dealing with identity issues. Alright, so looking at this quote here, to gaze into another person's face is to do two things, to recognize their humanity and to assert your own. This is from the Book of Negroes. This quote is significant because it captures the essence of his novels. To recognize a person for who they are, not what they look like or identify as, is much greater. Lawrence Hill has had great impact on Canadian society, and here are a few reasons why. First off, he was able to address the sensitive issues of racism and slavery in a way that captured audiences through award-winning novels. He has also created a foundation for novels based around African American history and has expressed that even though it is hard to talk about, slavery and racism should be addressed more to implicate the intensity of the tragedy at the time. He has allowed for more open discussion of these topics. He also lectures across hundreds of universities in Canada and the US, and he talks about these issues using his memoir, Blood. He is also looked at as a figure of the African Canadian community because he is able to shed light on sensitive topics that tragically affected many families across the globe. Lastly, I want to touch on the connections that Lawrence Hill's novels and Drake's music share. Bryce is my partner for this project, and he will go more in depth about Drake. However, I want to briefly discuss the relation. Both Hill's novels and Drake's music connect to the idea of hardships that African Americans have struggled with for centuries. Relating to the topics of racism and slavery, they both share a common goal to spread the importance of talking about these issues in modern-day society. As time goes on, new generations do not learn about these tragedies, and it is important to teach people, whether through music or novels, that this was the most important issue at the time of the 18th century, and it will never be forgotten what many people went through. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I know I can't answer questions live because this is a recording, but if you have any questions, please feel free to send me a message or an email, and I will gladly answer. Have a great day.